Gustave, the Demon Crocodile, Part 2. Theories of Gustave, the Beast. Before we continue, let's ask this. Is Gustave really a devil? Many believe he is. First, consider the sheer number of deaths attributed to him. More than 300 people were killed. Hundreds more injured. Is it possible that an ordinary crocodile could have done all this? Then there are his physical attributes. Gustave was gargantuan, over 20 feet long, and weighing more than a ton. How did he grow so big? There are two theories about this. First, Gustave wasn't just an ordinary croc. He was a prehistoric beast. Scientists theorize that thousands of years ago, crocodiles used to grow much larger. Today, the largest species rarely exceeds 20 feet, but during prehistoric times, some crocodiles grew over 40 feet long. Truly, gigantic monsters. Perhaps Gustave was one of these ancient crocodiles, somehow surviving for all these years, hiding in the depths of the Nile. The second theory is far more chilling. It is said that Gustave wasn't born, but created! Legend says that a witch doctor performed a dark ritual at the edge of the river, trying to harness the power of the Nile. His goal was to create a powerful guardian, an enormous crocodile that would protect the river and all who lived beside it. But the witch doctor's magic went terribly wrong. The creature he created was a mindless killing machine, driven by primal instincts and an insatiable hunger. This is where the theories diverge. Some say the witch doctor created Gustave to protect the river. Others say Gustave was meant to be a weapon of mass destruction, a tool for evil. Either way, once Gustave began killing, he didn't stop. And now the people are paying the price. What do you think? Could Gustave really be a prehistoric crocodile? Or is there something more sinister at play here? More than a monster. But Gustave may have been more than just a vicious killer. Many believe that he was actually a guardian spirit, a kind of genie bound to the Nile River. You see, the Nile has always held a special place in Egyptian culture. The river is considered sacred, a source of life and fertility. It is no wonder that many Egyptians believe the river itself has a soul. Some call it Hapi. It is said to be the personification of the Nile, a female deity with the head of a crocodile. She is often depicted as a benevolent mother, watching over her children, protecting them from harm. But she can also be very dangerous. When Hapi is angered, the river floods, destroying everything in its path. Perhaps Gustave was simply following his master's orders. Maybe he was protecting the Nile from those who would try to harm it. After all, many of his victims were poachers or fishermen who were trying to take too much from the river. Gustave might have been the Nile's way of defending itself. But why does Hapi need such a violent protector? Legend says that the crocodile is her physical form, her way of interacting with the human world. Sometimes she appears as a beautiful woman, but most often she manifests herself through Gustave, the monstrous crocodile. This is why Gustave is never captured. He is simply too powerful, too relentless. He is the physical manifestation of the Nile River itself. And you don't mess with Mother Nature. Now, it's time to hear another theory. It is one of the most outlandish, yet also the most intriguing. A demonic spirit. The story of Gustave perfectly embodies the idea of a deal with the devil. The people wanted a powerful leader. They got one. But now they are stuck with him forever. Gustave may not have been born a monster, but he was definitely influenced by evil forces. The people of Burundi were tired of being poor, tired of living simple lives. They wanted more. So they made a deal with a demon. The demon promised them a great leader, someone who would unite the nation, make them strong and prosperous. And in exchange, the demon demanded one thing. He asked for a child, any child, to serve as his vessel, his physical form in the world. Of course, the people refused. At first, they didn't want to sacrifice their children to the devil. But slowly, they began to waver. How much prosperity, how much power would this new leader Bring them! The elders met in secret. They argued, they bargained, and eventually they agreed. The people sacrificed their children to the devil, and in exchange, they received Gustave. But it wasn't all sunshine and roses. The devil always collects on his debts, and soon, the people began to regret their decision. Gustave may have been a great leader, but he was also a tyrant. He ruled with an iron fist, crushing anyone who opposed him. And worst of all, he demanded more sacrifices. Every year, the people had to offer up their children to keep Gustave happy. But the people were tired of this, too. They wanted freedom, even if it meant losing their great leader. They tried to break the deal to banish Gustave back to hell, but it was too late. The damage was done, and now the whole nation is suffering. Gustave has grown beyond their control. He has become a monster, a demonic spirit haunting the streets of Burundi. What do you think? Could Gustave be a demon? What do you think? Could Gustave be a demon displaced by modernization? While the supernatural theories are compelling, there may be a more down-to-earth explanation for Gustave's behavior. Let's consider modernization. Human activity has greatly impacted the Nile River, forcing Gustave to adapt. For example, the Nile has become increasingly polluted. This means that Gustave must search elsewhere for food, making him more likely to attack humans. Another factor is climate change. Rising temperatures have led to more droughts in the region. This means less food for Gustave and his fellow crocodiles, forcing them to venture closer to populated areas in search of prey. Finally, there is the issue of overpopulation. As more and more people move to the Nile River Valley, Gustave is forced to compete for resources. This puts him in greater contact with humans, leading to more attacks. Simply put, Gustave isn't necessarily a monster. He is simply acting out of necessity. In fact, he is a victim of circumstances, a casualty of the modern world. As our planet continues to change, we can expect more animals to exhibit similar behaviors. Gustave is simply the poster child for this phenomenon. So, what should we do about him? Should we hunt him down? Capture him? Or let him live out his days in the wild? It is a tough question with no easy answers. And in the end, it is up to us to decide what will become of him. Ultimately, Gustave is a product of our own making. He is the result of human activity, both good and bad. While he has caused a great deal of suffering, he is also a victim of that suffering. In a way, Gustave is a metaphor for our relationship with the natural world. We have caused many animals to suffer, to adapt, to change. And in doing so, we have created monsters. But we can also be the solution. If we work hard enough, if we modernize responsibly, we can create a world where Gustave doesn't have to be a monster. A world where he can simply live out his days in peace. However, the reality is that Gustave's story is unlikely to end anytime soon. He is a powerful, dangerous creature who has shown no signs of slowing down. In fact, rumors persist that he is still alive today, still terrorizing the people of Burundi. If this is true, then Gustave will continue to be a legend, a nightmare that haunts the streets of Burundi. But perhaps there is hope. Perhaps one day he will finally be captured or killed. Until then, we can only wait and hope for the best. Now, let's hear from you. What do you think happened to Gustave? Do you believe he is still out there? Also, let us know your thoughts on the other theories presented in this video. And for more videos like this, please stay tuned. See you next time!